I want to introduce you to a game that my team developed to help youth learn about how to make their community more resilient when a flood disaster happens. The goal of this game is to have fun and learn about this hazard. In this game, teams will be confronted with hazard scenarios. The members work together to solve these challenges. The team that solves the most challenges wins. In this game, the teams will face challenges, but they'll have resources to help them address those challenges, and each team must choose their resources wisely. Just like in a real disaster scenario, some of these challenges can be anticipated, but others cannot. To begin, each team will get 13 resource cards. Resource cards represents an item or person that might be useful, like a road barricade or a medic team. Each team must pick the 8 cards that they think will be most useful and discard the remaining 5. Each team is also going to have a disaster response guide, which helps detail some of the things that will occur as the disaster unfolds and can help you in choosing your resources. However, in each round, there will also be unforeseeable challenges. So a little bit about these teams. Each team represents a different region of your community that has its own level of risk. So Zone A team would be the closest to the river, and the Zone C team would represent the area furthest away. For a class that's super big, you may play with 2 Zone A's and 2 Zone B's, 2 Zone C's. In addition to the community resources, each individual player also has their own personal skill that they can choose to contribute to the response. And they will record this on the individual resource card. At the start of each round, once each team has chosen their 8 resource cards, the teacher will read an emergency update for your community. The emergency update tells each zone team what level of flooding they're facing in that round. For teams in zones with flooding damage, they'll use the disaster response guide to know what challenges they need to address. For teams in zones without flooding damage, they will take the lead in addressing the community challenge, which is different for each round and will be handed out by the teacher. Once each team knows the level of hazard that they're facing for that round, they need to use their 8 resource cards and their individual resource cards to solve a series of tasks. Now, tasks can be solved either directly by having the exact card required or by using 2 or more cards together in a creative solution. For example, if one of your tasks was to alert emergency personnel, you could solve that either by having the emergency personnel card, or a creative solution might be to use the 2-way radio card in addition to a communication skills individual resource card. Teams can determine whether or not each other's creative solutions are acceptable solutions. Teams record the tasks that they've completed and the points that they've earned in each round on their own game board. At the end of each round, each team reports the total points that they've earned on a whiteboard where everyone can see. It's interesting to note that teams can gain extra points by collaborating with other teams to help them succeed. You collaborate by donating cards that your team doesn't need to another team, which gives your team 1 extra point. On to the next round. The teacher collects, reshuffles, and passes out 13 new resource cards to each zone team, from which they must, again, choose 8 cards to play with. Although none of the zones know exactly which challenges they will face, their experience with round 1 may lead them to prioritize different resources in round 2. Once each team has their 8 cards, the teacher will read the next emergency update. Teams will then use their new resources to solve their new tasks. Then points are tallied and the cards are returned to start another round. The game can end after any round, as time allows, or continue for all 3 rounds. And the team with the most points at the end wins. So those are the basics of the game. You can check out the instruction guide for more details, and we hope you enjoy playing.